touch my body.
Did not time before. Oh, did you not like my singing?
No, I like, no. Love, yes.
Ah, good.
Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Emily.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Adriana.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today is the second episode of our 7-week journey through Glow of the Everflame, the second book in the Kindred's Curse saga.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thots after all. So we are going to be using adult language, talking about adult topics. So please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all three current books. Each episode, we will focus on specific chapters in each book, but our conversation will include the entirety of the series. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Maybe we, but definitely Emily and me, grammar, will be mispronouncing a name or place. Adriana will be leading the episode, so let's...
Strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl. Before we jump in, I think we should say what an awesome time we had at Enchanticon, because we're recording this episode after Enchanticon. It was a blast meeting other book thotties who love to read, who love the same series that we love, other authors, other creators, other podcasters. We got to meet the Between Pages and Friends. We got to meet a girl who does a podcasting where she cooks and talks about a book, which we hope we can do a collab with her. And we got to meet Fantasy Fangirls. So
that was so fun.
Her podcast is called Manuscript.
We'll put a little tag in the video for her so you can click on it. But all exciting things, all exciting times. It was a real fun weekend.
For sure.
Yeah, we had a great time, and always love when we can interact with audiences because we're so new, so we haven't been able to do that yet.
Adriana, now you can strip it down, girl.
It's too late. I already did my dance. Chapter 7. All right. Walking around the palace grounds with Aemon, Diem finds out that in just a few days' time, they are planning on announcing her as queen at a formal ball once the funeral has taken place. Realizing Aemon is hoping for a chance at escorting her to the ball, Diem accidentally spills that she's sort of seeing someone, and it's serious. Revealing to him that Henry, immortal, has proposed, giving Aemon to have more information for leverage than she intentionally hoped for. I don't know how I feel about Aemon, to be honest. I can tell like he has his own motive, but at the same time,
I feel
like there's more to it.
Yeah, even with reading all three of the books, I think I've already said this, but I'm still on the fence about Aemon. Like, I really think given the opportunity, maybe he's not going to be an evil little piece of shit.
I think he's just someone you have to watch out for.
Here he isn't a piece of shit. Here he's like, hey, I think he's like, you'd really need to be realistic about what your scenario is here. Especially when he says, and if you were not the crown, you would be put to death as a result. Is that the life you want for your offspring?
Yeah.
So he's kind of being like, Diem, let's be realistic here.
Just a little reality check that nobody around Diem is willing to give her at any point in time. I mean, Luther has his reasons for not. I guess he kind of does try and reality check her.
He does, but he more gives her clues to the reality. The Aemon in this scenario is just saying, hey, you're a half-blood or whatever they call it in this book.
Muggle.
You're a muggle. So let's be honest. If you didn't have the crown right now, you would be put to death, and all your children are going to be put to death if you want to go marry this guy named Henry.
Yeah, I don't think he sugarcoats it. He kind of just doesn't want her to sit back and try and be in delusions. He wants her to realize this is serious and you need to be aware of the consequences.
Yeah, this chapter makes me go kind of back to he does some shady things later on in the series.
Oh, yeah.
But this specific moment, he doesn't seem extra slimy to me here.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he is trying to go to the ball with her, but
I think... Was it this book and the first one, Spark, that he doesn't do anything necessarily terrible just yet? Because this is the one that he gives her the necklace, right?
I don't think he's been introduced until the second book.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, he later on I know there's hidden motives behind stuff that he's doing, but I also think that deep down, he's not the hidden motive kind of guy. It's being pushed on him by his father so hard. and just like how he's been brought up, as we saw with the young boy who had like a good attitude towards Diem until she reminded him of his social status and then was a little asshole.
Yeah.
And I think something that it's not in the recap, but needs to be said, this is also where this chapter she realizes or finds out that Luther is the one that has to sentence everyone to death, is in charge of carrying that out. So that's a huge part in this chapter.
Yes.
And something to definitely note, because now all of a sudden she thinks that he is in charge of executing everybody.
That could be argument that Amon.
Amen.
I sound
Amon?
It felt like I was saying a Digimon name for a second. I was like, Gagurumon. Now I don't remember.
You're going to say this could be fuel to say that he is conniving.
Yeah, he is being slimy a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you can tell that him and Luther obviously do not have a great relationship. And I think even Luther or somebody mentions that like Amon's motives are because he's kind of lesser power. And so he has to kind of crawl and fight and kind of connive his own way throughout his, I don't know if it's status, because he's technically the brother of Taryn. So he has already title.
It's social standing though.
Yeah.
Because Eleanor is a cousin just like all of them, but
That's
everybody looks down on her,
That's
she
true.
says, because she's less powerful. Even though she doesn't carry weapons.
We love her.
It's just interesting to see Diem go from, I need to go find Luther and talk to him, to the last sentence is, if anyone's going to kill Luther, it's going to be me. Once again, ending every single chapter with a lie. Like, she's done that the last 5 chapters.
Denial demon. Demon?
Denial
Ooh.
demon.
Gosh. That's what is possessing Diem, is the denial demon.
Fight.
Chapter 8. When Diem returns to the palace, she notices that Luther is no longer on the terrace. Noticing she wasn't finding him anywhere, her temper seems to be cooling. In the hopes she could find answers regarding her mother only Luther could possibly know, she is in search for him. Noticing her voice wasn't being soothed, constantly unsatisfied since the night of receiving the crown, she hears that voice again. Fight. Lily finds her to inform her that she's found her brother and brings her to him in the dungeons, hiding away from peering eyes. Teller hasn't found anything different regarding the crown, only that it passes through death, but he is still looking through text to find more. Teller, surprised she didn't go to the lodge to hide or stay hidden, asks why she decided to come to the palace. Lily, feeling guilty for the role she played in persuading Diem, looks to Diem. She just says she's decided to come to the palace to tell them, and Sarai would have found her anyway. Diem asks how the challenging works. Does she have to fight every person in Lumnos who thinks she's not good enough? No, but if more than one house raises a challenge, the regent selects the strongest challenger to fight. If you win, then you can be coronated. It's a battle of magic only, no weapons allowed. If they believe she's a Courbois, then there's a possibility no one challenges her. Ignoring Teller's question of when she plans on telling everyone back at home, Diem asks Lily about the Ascension Ball. Teller happily explains it's her presentation to the court, the official beginning of a period of challenging. Afraid there would be some sort of test there, she asks if they know anything about one, but Teller explains that the books have never mentioned one. But good old Luther chiming in from the shadows. Have you not realized that everything you do between now and the coronation is a test? Teller freezes. Lily gasps and Diem just pinches the bridge of her nose, closing her eyes. I love that. Anything will irritate her with him. The next time you organize a secret meeting in the dungeon, little sister, try to remember to close the door behind you. I love how she just instantly tells him to go away. Him coolly just pointing out and ignoring her irritation just reminds her there are many people looking for her. What a blessing none of them thought to search this far downstairs. So I had to write this quote in there because I just thought it was hilarious. His patronizing tone was like waving a torch near a barrel of kerosene. The voice was no longer chanting, it was screaming. Luther tells her that she needs to use her magic. The godhood, that's what the Descended call their source of magic. It hates being trapped in a physical body. Being leashed for too long without release makes it angry. The longer you hold it in, the angrier it gets. For most Descended, even a few days without a release can be dangerous. If you've been suppressing your nature all these years, you're a walking explosive. Knowing it's only causing her to be a danger to herself and those around her, he tells Teller and Lily to get a far distance away and gets into a fighting stance, ready to let her burn off some of it. Deep down, Diem knows he's right. She doesn't even recognize herself. She used to love and laugh freely. Now it felt more like hate just fueled her. It strengthened her. She despises who she's become and desperately wants to find the happy girl she used to be. Circling each other, Luther wields his magic into a protective armor in preparation for her attacks. Mesmerized, yet intrigued by her magical abilities, Diem is curious why the Descended rarely wield their full power in display in front of the mortals. Luther claims they avoid it if they can, as it can be disturbing for them to witness. Since when do the Descended care about disturbing the mortals? Luther stating that they allow the mortals of Lumnos to live undisturbed while the Descended keep to their own cities and palaces. How very kind of you to allow us to live on land that was ours in the first place. There's nothing free about a life under laws we had no say in writing and have no real power to change. Diem makes the slip up of also admitting her feelings regarding the Descended and how maybe it is time for them to learn how it feels to lose everything they value for a change. Luther just warns her she would be wise to keep those thoughts well guarded because even a queen can bleed. The inner voice, realizing the threat only grew louder and sharper, Luther tells her to use her magic or he will attack. Pissing her off by using her name instead of Your Majesty, banter ensues, but he just tells her to make him call her by that title instead of using her name. He uses this opportunity to send a spear of darkness toward her. He tells her to stop pretending she doesn't have magic and to defend herself. He can feel her magic building up around her. He asks for her to tell him why is she so angry. She finally admits what she's learned from Aemon regarding the half-mortal children. Afraid he'd killed all of those half-mortal children. He shouts that she knows nothing of what she speaks of. You know nothing, Jon Snow. He denies killing them, that there's more to the story. Is that how she really sees him and believes him capable of? Is that why she truly hates him so deeply? He wants her to stop running away and face what she was meant to become. Again, we fucking love him. I'm convinced he can do no wrong. He finally does it when he pushes her with his last statement. I thought you were fearless, so stop being a coward. He supports her, he pushes her, and calls her out on her BS. Yes, Daddy. She snaps. One moment she's shaking and panting, the next she's levitating, hovering in the air, cocooned by a glowing white spear. Spiked tendrils of blue light twirled from the orb's surface, slinking across the floor and transforming the dungeon floor into sharp-tipped vines. A hazy black liquid dripped from each thorn as if bleeding from within, swirling and swelling into seas of shadows with cresting waves. Luther, stepping back, shielding his eyes from her blinding glow and just grinning up at her, proud that she finally did it. How powerful she really was and didn't even know it. Her, the dying star, exploding and imploding, consuming all she touched. The sight of him grinning undoes her. Her piercing screams match with Sorai's distant roar as a blast of energy ripped from her chest. Luther, shielding himself, but her power just blasted through as if it were nothing. Her silvery flames burned through each shield as he threw up with ease, dissolving into a mist that froze as it landed and coated the obsidian waves with a form of glittering frost. She lost herself to the battle, her body no longer feeling like it was one soul, but thousands of them, flowing like roots from the soil beneath the palace, snaking through the stone and burrowing under her skin. But one stands out in particular, a spirit brighter than all the others combined. Its face wavered in, too hazy to see clearly except for the two gray eyes, so much like her own. Their corners crinkled as if in a smile promising a fate. The floor has cracked beneath her with visible sprouts through the rubble, and all she heard was Luther laughing. Battered, bruised, and laughing Luther. Knew she had it in her this whole time, knowing she will be unstoppable. How all of that didn't burn her alive as she fought to keep it hidden and suppressed. Asking if she feels better now, but seeing something's wrong, he asks what's the matter. Wiping away her tears, Diem is struck with the realization that yes, the voice is gone, but the pain was overwhelming knowing she was descended and all that came with that confirmation was she was going to outlive her loved ones. She would be left alone in this world. She begs him to help her save them as long as they live, to protect them, even if she can't, to take care of them, even if she loses the challenging, and she will agree to claim House Corbois. He promises he won't let anything happen to them.
I know later we learn about how they get their, well, I guess we already learned that before, that the ground that they're on, their realm is like source for their power. But it's interesting because it seems like she can pick out each soul that has magic individually and like
Yeah.
either see like their truth selves or just their magic. I'm not sure.
I kind of wondered if it was because like I couldn't tell if it like what she's feeling also was it's the mother
Mother Lumnos.
Mother Lumnos has given power to over the lines, and so like was that like her like Avatar, like her past lives basically, like
Oh,
showing
like when
like
she
awakening.
sees the gray
Ah.
eyes staring
Yeah.
back at her.
Like is that her father, which I thought the first time, or is it like her past lives being awoken for the first time and being like, now we can finally help you? That voice within was your magic, but we have been waiting to connect with you. I don't know. That's how I took it
Well,
to the second
that
round.
would go with your theory if you want to explain it now that you had.
So I randomly, I think, was talking to you guys in the car, and I just wondered if the visions of, and I might need help explaining this part, the visions that she has on the battlefield when she sees the blood, the turmoil, the battle affront her, and like the bodies laying in that circle. I do think the note of us talking about the circle is important, but I wonder if it's more past than future,
Mm-hmm.
if it's more like a vision of
The mistakes from the past, maybe.
exactly like
Yeah.
the war that had happened, and she's seeing through those lens, maybe a past life or something like that. And it's not necessarily seeing herself. It's just showing that what happened in the past can repeat itself, and that's where we're kind of at a cusp of things.
I mean, I really like that maybe it's not going to be all sad.
I know. I don't want anything to happen to my babies.
I know.
But
Wait, you're thinking that maybe it's not all sad? Or...
Like maybe that is a vision of the past and she's going to get the opportunity to change it before.
it's almost
that
like
happens.
the old gods warning her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is how it all went down before, but you and Luther are the ones born to save us all.
because she's seen him too. Like she's looked through his eyes. I don't know. It's just an interesting take, and I know that there's not a lot of information, so I'm very curious what reveals we get in the fourth book and the final installment, but it's just a possibility in my mind.
Well, I think everyone just assumes it's her seeing the future, so to think of it as the past could also make sense.
There's a tie there, past and
Yes.
future. I think that's the vision.
Well, and if that's maybe Mother Lumnos or some other god or version of her that she's seeing, that would make sense.
Yeah.
What did you think it was? Because you said that's not what you thought it was.
I mean, I always just thought it was like her dad because we learn later that he has the same eyes as her.
Yeah.
So when it mentions the same eyes, I was like, well, that's got to be her dad. And then it says a smile, like a fate that's promised. So I just,
Because she's the gift.
yeah.
She's the gift to end them all.
Yeah, I still think those eyes and that smile is her father. I just think that she's now she has access to him because she's been under flame root for so long, and now she's tapped into her power, and that's how her father can also find her.
Oh,
Because it's awakening all of them, is what I feel in a sense.
Yeah, that's probably true, or else he wouldn't have been silent for so long.
Well, it's her blood that wakes him up later.
He's being held
Well,
prisoner.
They think he's dead, or
Yeah,
her mom thinks that she killed him.
Yeah.
but that's so. That it's gonna make me have the same question I've had like the last 3 episodes about what the fuck the kindred is.
What about that makes you question? Like, you think they're still alive? They're working as gods.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like what realm do they exist on, and how have they disappeared, or like I just am so confused about
Mount
it.
Olympus.
This is a Throne of Glass spoiler. I'll put it in the chapter marker when we're over talking about it. But I kind of picture it like Throne of Glass, how the one person that's dead that was supposed to pay the sacrifice has like Aelin doing it. So I kind of picture the gods working in the exact same way that they do in Throne of Glass.
But so like Elena is kept in this like purgatory almost, where
It's
she
like
can
her spirit. Yeah.
yeah, she can still have access to the world that Aelin is in, but she's also not there.
Yeah.
She only has certain amounts of time that she can.
I'm not saying that that's correct, but that is how I picture these exact gods working in the same way.
Okay. I mean,
I
I
like
guess I can picture it like that.
Yeah.
So they are still kind of alive, just for the record.
I mean, I don't know if we know some of their companions are not throughout the war, but I don't think all of them are dead.
What do you mean by companions?
Like, remember how Sarai is one of the few remaining? Like, during the war, there was a bunch of them that did die once they gave their companions to the Descended.
I thought only 2 were dead.
But those are beasts that are immortal.
Yeah.
The kindred supposedly gave up their immortal lives for their mortal counterparts. So
That's
They
true.
just live long.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I mean, I was so excited when I read this, and finally Denial DM said, I was descended. I had magic. I was strong, and I was fast. I could heal, and I would live for centuries, millennia maybe. I was like, thank you, kindred spirits.
We finally have an answer.
I do feel the worst for her in this chapter than I have felt the entire book, though, because
Mhm.
this chapter, if you're ever feeling like DM is the dumbest girl in school, you could just read this chapter and remember her denial is rooted in understanding that if she's so different from her family, then she loses everyone she loves. And that will keep you rooted in denial for a while.
It will.
That will keep you locked in.
Yeah.
So it does. You feel for her, but yeah, it's wow. It took you a long time to come to this realization. I'm sure the whole palace or castle, as Jenna likes to say, would have been destroyed if Luther wasn't down there to contain all that magic that's bent up.
I love how that's how he even explains it later. Like the next morning when she's like, are you just as spent as I am? Basically, I can't feel your magic. And he's like, yeah, I was holding up the goddamn palace.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, well, I'm empty too. And he's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
That was a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
And you already pointed it out, the line where it says, how very kind of you to allow us to live on land that was ours in the first place. Living in Oklahoma, it obviously makes me think of Native Americans and all the land that colonizers stole from Native Americans. But it does kind of go back to like, I almost feel like for Luther, it's how do you wrong that right that's happened so long ago?
Right that wrong.
Yeah, right that wrong from so long ago. Like, what is the answer that was this horrible thing happened to this group of people and they're still living the repercussions of that? But how do you go back?
Well, and plus he's kind of alone in his thoughts on how mortals should be treated. Like,
and he's even a little clueless. Like he does know that they're treated bad, but he doesn't know that. In this conversation makes it very real that he doesn't understand how bad it really is.
Yeah, which given his position and like what's expected of him, how is he supposed, I don't know. He's just in a really tough spot to be able to help and also not be discounted and killed because of his views.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like how Teller's like first thing when he sees her is, are you wearing a dress?
And he's like, you're smiling.
Yeah.
Like, how long has it been that he's over 6 months that he's watched her just be crumbling because of the disappearance of her mom, and then consequently,
yeah, not taking the flame route.
Yeah, just everything crumbling around. Like, she's lost her job. She had a fight with her dad. She's got the crown of Luna's on her head.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen her. He hasn't been able to hear from her. He doesn't know if she's still alive even. Like, what if they saw her and immediately killed her because she can't control her power?
Exactly.
And she goes, she wouldn't have kept that from me when she was talking about her mom to Luther. Oh, damn.
She always told us the big stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honey, you don't even begin to understand.
You're about to find out how much you just don't know.
And there's still so much Luther can't reveal because of his promise, but at the same time, he thought Arlie would have like revealed something.
I know, because he's like, you didn't know, like, you truly didn't know that you were kindred. I think that's the next chapter, but he's like having that conversation with her. And she's like, yeah, my mom didn't tell me anything.
But she doesn't even realize that she wasn't told anything yet.
Yeah. I will say that maybe Arlie didn't know to the extent of how powerful her father was and all that, but it's still no excuse for all the lies.
I don't know if I can agree with you on that. I don't
You
know.
think she knew how powerful the dad was?
I don't know.
She met him on an island for 9 months. 9 months? Probably like closer to 12.
She may have been naive to it then, but like all of the history she knows about the mortals and all of that, I think that she's come to the realization.
Maybe this is her ultimate plan. She knows the history, knows that Diem's father has something to do with the Everflame tree. So she said, I'm going to plant the seed to grow the next tree, and that tree is Diem.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
Can you imagine using your kid like that?
For
But
Arlie,
maybe
I
that's
could
the
see
only
it.
way you think, that you can have the war kind of win in your favor.
I need more Arlie lore. I
Yeah.
need the backstory.
A novella of just her.
Yes. I need to know how she was brought up. I need to know where she was brought up. I need all of these answers.
Yeah, because right now, even when we lead up to when she finally can ask her any question, it's kind of like this sit-down moment's going to be real heated.
Yeah.
I need answers now and not this beat around the bush while I was trying to protect you all along. Like, what the hell is going on?
I think Arlie's going to die.
You think that's who
Yeah.
She's
Penn
going to
Cole
lose
was
both
crying about?
parents?
I think she's going to die. It's either her.
Oh, can we talk about losing both parents?
Yeah.
This chapter ends with Luther's first broken promise to Diem. He promises he won't let anything happen to Diem's family.
Oh, I did. Yes. I did notice
Aw.
that.
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
not.
even think about that.
He didn't try to break the promise, but
we all think it was Henry. It's either Henry
no.
or
But I'm
the
saying
one...
he doesn't. He promises to protect him, and her
Yeah.
dad dies. So
He does send, doesn't he send Perth to like watch him though? And something happens.
he does his best to
Yeah.
take care of,
Yeah.
like, and he
Because
later
even he loses soldiers around the area, I think.
Well, yeah, and it feels absolutely so guilty about it after it happens. But I just thought it was interesting to see now in real time that promise be made, and just to know how much that affects their relationship in the future.
Oh, it makes
If
me
she would
mad.
take her freaking magic schooling seriously though, when she's like when he's trying to teach her about how to use her magic and she just keeps like giving up or like putting it off and not doing it. That happens too.
You think that would save her father?
No,
Oh.
I don't think that.
The way you
but
said
it's
it was
just-
like if she just would have learned magic. Like it made it sound
That
like
would
that
have
would
made the difference.
I'm not going to blame her father's death on her.
You
Like,
should.
Nobody can protect everybody in their life all the time.
I can.
That's impossible. That was just a ton happened in that chapter. And we get to
yeah.
see a lot of differences in her power, like how it's talked about, that I don't think connects with a lot of powers that we've been introduced to yet.
Let me just say, I love Luther again because he's willing to push her. He's willing to help her release that. Just like her father even would always notice, like, hey, you're upset. Let's work this out. You don't want to talk yet? Well, we'll get to that point because you need to talk it out, but you also have so much pent up. You need that release. But he's also not willing to let her keep living in denial. And everyone else who refuses to tell, even though he has secrets too, he can't reveal, he's desperately wanting her to come to those conclusions and realizations on her own. And he's just trying to lead her there. He's like, hey, you need to open your eyes. We need to even focus on the fact that you don't have training for this power. You have no control over it yet. You are dangerous in a sense.
Well, it's good too that he also realizes had he just turned his back on her mom and told all the secrets immediately, that Diem wouldn't have ever trusted him.
Yeah.
So that is key. Well, while we want him to just be upfront and talk to Diem, he is, and I don't know, like in the end, he's doing what it takes to win her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Okay. Chapter 9. Early the next morning, feeling drained and empty in more ways than one, Diem hears a knock on her door. Luther has brought her breakfast, assuming she would want breakfast in privacy this morning and to offer discussion regarding their mutual acquaintance, her mother. Not letting him apologize for provoking her last night or wanting, she pushes for information he's promised her. His father has announced the king's death. The funeral will be held in a few days. Hoping she could have had more time to adjust and prepare, he explains that she will not be required to speak at this funeral. Nothing is expected of her until the ball. The ball, which she already knows about from Eamon. She explains that Eamon had asked to escort her. He was flirting, and her having had a few drinks accidentally let slip more information than she was willing to share. Worried he asks about this, she reveals that Henry has proposed. Asking, right? Asking guardingly if she's been given her answer, Diem admits she has not yet. Luther knows how easily it is to give up information freely around his cousin, but he will talk with him and be very persuasive in his decisions to make sure this does not get out. The last thing they need right now is another reason for a target on her back leading into this challenge. Begging Luther for the information on her mother, he's reluctant to give her more than he has promised to share. He made a promise to Arlie, and he keeps his promises. Remembering the promise she asked of him last night, she tells him the facts of what she knows. 1. She did not know she was descended until last night. She had suspicions, but never was it confirmed since she was born with brown eyes and hair like Teller's. Now her eyes are gray. Apparently, only the Luminos descended have blue eyes, while the other 9 lines have their own distinct eye color. There's Arboros, who has green, Montios has violet, Fortos is red, but none are gray that he's aware of. 2. She knows there was a bargain struck between her mother and Luther to aid the king in any way and be the designated palace healer. In return, Teller would get to attend the descended school. She always thought her mother was protecting her, not keeping her away for another reason. And 3, she heard them arguing on the day she vanished, overhearing that she would reveal his secrets. And she's referring to, obviously, Arlie and Luther talking there.
So bottom line is she doesn't know shit.
She doesn't know shit. She doesn't know anything else
Not a
new
damn.
than when she came in, except for she's finally confirming she's descended. Realizing Arlie never revealed who she was working with, the secret she uncovered, or her plans, Luther is apologetic when he explains he can't tell her much. He thought she was made aware of much more information, but only now realizes she was kept in the dark. Frustratingly so, Diem is desperate and begging him that she needs her, and if he thinks she's alive or knows where she is, to please tell her. She needs her mother. Feeling that pain and his own trauma, Luther tells her he will promise to go fetch Arlie if she is not back by year's end, which is only 2 months away.
I love the line where he says, "You're the queen now, and for as long as your lungs draw breath." I don't know. There's just something about that was like,
Yeah.
I will serve you, I will honor you, and until your dying day and mine, you are my queen. He didn't say my queen, but it felt like it's inferred that he's like, you're my queen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the blood oath almost.
Yes. You're my wife.
Yeah.
It's my wife.
That was for you, Heather.
That's actually one of my favorite lines in this movie called The Gentleman. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's incredible. But Matthew McConaughey, he's like trying to sell off his drug business, and there's other drug lords trying to buy it, and one of them plays dirty and like tries to touch his wife, and he finds out about it, and at the end of the movie he like gets payback, and he's like, no amount of money will get the payback I want. And he wants like 1 liter of his blood, and he's like, I don't care where it comes from, but it's like 1 liter, 1 pound of his flesh, I think it is. But the way he says it, he's like, no amount of money will pay that back. And then he goes, that's my wife. Gives me the goosies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Matthew McConaughey.
We always like a protective daddy.
Do we ever?
It's so funny because there's always lines for everyone when it comes to that like where it draws that it's okay and it's not. But like Luther, to me personally, doesn't show anything aggressively wrong there.
No.
I maybe it's a red flag for me, but I usually don't take it aggressively wrong that much.
Yeah.
Well, but you do when it's them being possessive and not letting the woman be herself.
Yes. That's the line.
That's the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you are like, what do you call that? Restricting, but that's not the right word either.
Caging.
Yeah.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah. If you're trying to lock me in a fucking house,
there's some issues there.
There's some issues.
Tamlin, you've got some issues.
Little spoilers, maybe, possibly, but still.
Easter eggs.
Good God, man.
It is frustrating though because she's so desperate for information for her mother. Like she feels like she's this close and now has the hope that she's still alive.
Yeah.
She trusts, whether she wants to admit it or not, she trusts Luther enough that hope is real to her. She's like, if you think she's alive, then I'm gonna think she's alive.
Because she's been going back and forth for so long.
Yeah, you can hear the desperation in her voice in this moment.
Do we want to bring up that Henry has also had the opportunity to tell her all of this shit?
If anyone's going to spoil anything, I think it's going to be Henry, right?
I just don't think my blood pressure can go that high today.
All right. Well, we'll keep it low.
Like, Henry, that is the difference, is Luther actually doesn't have a reason to tell Diem the truth. Like, truly, at the end of the day, he doesn't have a good reason to tell her. He's being as honest with her as he can. Henry has every reason to be honest with Diem. If that, once again, is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, then probably try to keep communication open and honest.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally. That's what you want to do. Did Orlai make him take an oath that we'd Arlie? God damn it, I can't say her name. Arlie.
I think it's just that they're part of the Guardians.
Yeah, I think he just respects the Guardians enough to just be like, I'm not going to tell her because I look up to the Guardians more than anything.
That's my only understanding of why he keeps so much information secret regarding her mother's, not even potential whereabouts, but like her actual role in this.
Okay, so you're just a piece of shit, Henry. Like, you got her daughter to join, which is clearly against her wishes. So if you're already going to go that far, why not just tell her, oh, the woman leading this is your mom, and she is on a special mission.
The worst part is he like eggs her on with the truth.
That's what I don't like.
He brings things. It's not even that he's lying to her. It's that he brings in and approaches the subject and tries to maybe hint at it in Henry's own way. But just if you're lying to someone, you avoid the subject as a whole, I feel like.
Yeah.
Unless you're being malicious. He's being malicious.
Or, in Luther's defense, he doesn't know what he can and cannot tell her, so he lets her reveal what she knows, but has always been trying to, like, leave the crumbs for her to find.
Just as a little thing for the listeners, we're not trying to hold a double standard on Luther and Henry keeping the same information from Diem. It just feels very different to us.
If you've read this book, then you don't think that. If you've read this series, there's no way you think that you're holding them to different standards because how they're treating it and doing it is so differently, in my opinion.
What if she kills off Henry next book? And we've gotten this whole sob story of him finally...
I think I said that.
I do think that it is a possibility that it's Henry.
I don't think that there's no redemption for Henry. I don't think that I would cry hard if he died, but I do think he has a chance at redemption.
I'd cry hard if who calls her Queenie? Taryn, yeah. I'd die. I would cry if Taryn dies.
There's characters that will really get me emotional, but I am not like... It might seem like I am past the point of redemption for Henry, but I do think there's light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm right about him being the reason her dad died, then I will never forgive him.
Yeah.
Then there's no room for... I don't care if he saves the world.
The only thing that would make me feel better is if it was really the other guy.
Vance.
Vance, and who else is the one that gave her the weapon?
Oh, Brecky.
Oh, no, but we've decided that Breck is all right.
Okay.
I mean, he is still a soldier at heart, so he could see where that would be beneficial to the Guardians.
But if Vance did it, then I'm still convinced that Henry would have known about it. And so even if Henry isn't the like orchestrator,
it's Cale.
If he's in the band, he's done.
Cale. Yeah. He's Cale in my mind.
Cale's
that he knows too much.
Rolled out wheelchair right off the Tower of Dawn.
Oh my God. Irene, stop teaching him.
Yeah. Okay.
Lift him up on the horse and embarrass him again.
Before we get too angry, let's move on to chapter 10. I don't know if this will do us any justice, but let's go ahead.
One second. I like that he ends it with a promise that, like, if your mom isn't back in a year, I'll go get her.
Confirmation she's still alive.
Yes.
And he knows where she is. Sorry.
Does he tell her that he kept everybody alive in this chapter?
That's coming
Okay.
up. That's the last
right.
chapter. That's 12.
My bad.
Please stop jumping ahead.
I like to jump to conclusions. I have my own little mat.
Take us to chapter 10.
All right, chapter 10. Eleanor gives Diem the breakdown on some of her cousins. She warns, Aemon can be useful, but he's sly, and it's always an exchange with him. He would just as easily sell gossip about you as sell it to you. Because he has weaker magic, he finds other ways of showing his ambitions. His brother Taryn is the complete opposite. More of a wild boar let loose in a glass maze. He has no interest in power, titles, or all the court scheming. She knows Diem will love him. Lily, being the only princess, is a sweetheart, but unfortunately her role has a cost. She is most likely to be used as a marriage bargaining chip. While Luther would burn the palace down before he allows something to be forced on Lily, Lily has always wanted to please and help her kingdom. She will gladly accept her father's wishes if she thinks it would make her parents proud and by doing so something good for her family's line. Then we have Alix, spending all her time with the royal guard, but she's worth knowing. She's ambitious like Aemon, wanting to climb the ranks by earning her merit rather than scheming or birthright. She dreams of leading an army one day. Since the Descended fight with magic, it is common for female soldiers, unlike the mortals where it is more rare. Luther is consumed with duty. He's had the weight of Lumnos on his shoulders since before his magic came in. The small glimpses of him underneath all that weight is what Eleanor loves to see. The few cracks even Diem has now begun to see. Surprised to hear Eleanor is Diem's only advisor, she has always felt weak and unimportant with nothing to offer. She was honest with Diem and she knows she can trust her. The other Crown Council members should take note. Diem tells her, they want us to feel small, Eleanor. They want us to be quiet, be predictable, be unimportant, and to behave. Then they make us think we deserve it. But I think they're just as terrified we'll stop listening to them and start listening to each other. And do you know why they're so scared of women like us? Because they damn well should be.
And then she dropped the mic for all women everywhere.
Yes. Girl power, man. I'm telling you, there's something about friendship that I love in every book that we have done so far. I think it's so powerful. And I think these two are going to be that.
You're about to say the other favorite part of that scene in just a second.
Okay. Even Sarai snapped her teeth with an insistent yip, as if in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Diem is coming to terms with the realization that as queen, she could help people, both mortals and descended, and end centuries of archaic, unjust traditions. Running into Remus as she is wandering the palace, Diem is officially welcomed to House Carbois. Remus, Remus, being the late king's regent, hopes to prepare her for this upcoming challenging with the help of his son and nephew. Since House Carbois has led for centuries, he offers wisdom, counsel, and protection. He states that they are feared for the deep relations they have across the realms and among all 20 houses. The threat is noted. He informs her of the upcoming meeting with all the leaders from across the 20 houses, something Luther forgot to mention. She leaves him and wanders into the servants' corridors, overhears them gossiping about her, and she turns to leave. She runs straight into Henry near the mailroom.
Boo.
What an awful, awful, awful thing to do.
To run into Henry near the bell room.
Right when she's starting to get some confidence built up. Right then.
Yeah.
Then
right
that's how it always happens in life too, though. You're like, oh yeah, I feel really good about this, and then smack.
I'm back on my feet, and then you throw up.
I love how she handles the Remus situation, because she does that in almost every time she walks in. She takes that big breath before walking in, and then she's feared, I would say, by most.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't say her followers at this point, but yeah.
Even Remus doesn't know her magic powers yet,
No,
right?
no.
Literally the only person that knows is Luther.
Yeah.
I do think that it's of note, too, that when Eleanor is giving all of her cousins descriptions and I don't know, whatever else you want to say
The
there.
history.
Yeah, history.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good God. she doesn't include Luther at first. And Diem's like, what about Luther? And she's like, don't you know Luther?
Yeah.
Like, hello, you know him. And she's like, I don't know Luther.
It's in that moment, though, that I forgot she was the one that he brought her to after that whole, what was it, that explosion or like that situation. So
I do think it's interesting that it says this early, how Lily is willing to do whatever is best for like the kingdom, because we know later on she gets pissed off because nobody asks her what she wants. Like she's about to be, they think she's going to be married off to somebody else and they want to stop that, but no one stops to ask, are you like, do you want to do this sacrifice for your kingdom? And she gets mad about that.
Yeah, because she does. She's like, stop trying to stop this. I'm willingly doing it.
Yes. Like, because they just assume like she won't want to be just married off to someone that she doesn't love. But in her eyes, that's a sacrifice she's 100% willing to make. But I just didn't remember or recall it being this early in the book.
It's another thing, like older siblings or people that care about you protecting without communicating.
Yes.
And that is something that I need to pay attention to in my everyday life for sure.
Communication is key.
It is.
Taryn being a wild boar, let
That
loose in
made
a
me
glass
laugh.
maze. I mean, if that doesn't describe him, I don't know what will.
The one that will make you laugh as well, for sure, because that line describes it perfectly.
You good.
I just was going to say I always fall for those characters. They are just
easy.
like immediately. I love the class clown. I love the one who's so passionate that they'll do anything right away. Not always the smartest, but sometimes they are.
We have no idea where Sarai is physically, but the fact that she chimes in and she's like, "Yep, girls, exactly." Like I
rawr.
love that.
Keep talking.
I want to have more of their tether. You know?
Yeah. All right, sorry, Ems, you got interrupted.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know why, and if maybe I'm confusing it for a different series, but I feel like I remember finishing this series on the first read not knowing how I felt about Alix. Like, not knowing if I loved her or not. And I think it's maybe how Diem left when they finally had to leave on Sarai and kind of go away when they were, like, shutting down the palace or something like that. But I just remember there being something where I'm like, I don't know if I like you that much.
I can't. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Since I'm gonna be heavily reliant on the reread for that.
Yeah. No,
but I'm gonna keep it in mind now.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in mind for looking forward to the future. Because I mean, she doesn't do anything bad that I remember. I just remember when they're fleeing on Sarai because they are like locking down the palace. She does something. I just remember I think that it irritated me.
But I also remember them being on when they were like running and they're about to be encountered by somebody that they're on their land for. And she's like making them leave so that she can fight the battle, so she can be captured, whatever. Like she goes full soldier mode there.
Maybe I am just thinking of a different series. Time will tell.
We'll see. I don't remember.
I read Guild, and there is a character that's so similar to Alix in Guild that I am so muddy on which one is which.
Yeah.
So.
Chapter 11. Well, so much for finding the right time to tell Henry about the crown. As he sees it above her head, reaching for his dagger, and is disgusted that she's one of them. Leading him to a private area to discuss, they come across a heated conversation between Luther and Aemon. Tugging him quickly away, Henry notes that's the one he saw that trampled the boy. Finding solitude, they discuss how she never knew she was descended. It must be her birth father. How the flame root must have been keeping her powers dimmed. Henry is quick to ask if it can negate everything about the descended. Vital information that he's hoping to obtain. Hoping to use it as a weapon and relay that information to the Guardians. Wincing, she agrees to help them. Convincing him that she is still her, he'd asked her to marry him. She could use the crown to help him help the mortals too. Henry only sees it as a way to use her for his and the rebels' agenda. She mentions the upcoming ball and convinces him to wait before attacking, asking him to come with her to the ball as her betrothed, to stay with her, to rule with her, and to be her king. Luther clears his throat from the doorway.
Well, also
End scene.
the whole time she can only think to take him to her room. So they're in there, and then once she says, "Be my king," he like jumps her bones pretty much. And they start making out and ripping clothing off.
He's
just that's what Luther walks in on.
Yeah.
And that goes back to his agenda probably is a genocide for the descended.
Oh, I think it is for the whole
Just-
Guardians.
Yeah.
The fact that he was gonna fucking kill Diem when
Yeah.
he found out she was descended with no question, like
Yeah.
nothing at all, just immediately he's gonna kill her.
Just
That was
immediately reaches for his
crazy.
dagger or whatever.
She feels so guilty about everything that's happening, and always thinks of Henry first and how it's gonna affect Henry, and then he was just gonna kill her.
And Henry
Yeah.
only thinks of Henry first.
It's not the fucking zombie apocalypse. Like, she's not gonna bite people and they're gonna become descended. Relax.
Her asking him to be her king is just the worst part in this entire series.
Yeah, it
and
makes
how
your
he
stomach
acts like
flip.
a little douchebag about it.
But then
Ugh.
he's so excited because he's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think
can
I
use
do
you.
deserve that. And I can use that to my, yeah.
Luther has patience that I could never.
He immediately even wants like Luther to bow to him, and like
Ugh.
everybody in the castle. He's like, well, I'm technically king now, so everybody needs to answer to me. And she's like, well, let's hold on. Like, you're still mortal. You're gonna die instantly if anybody gets news of this. Like, how are you that delusional?
I don't know how she's so delusional that she's still giving him all these chances.
I think that
It's the only
it's a
comforting-
little bit unfair for it to happen so soon after she comes to the full realization that she's going to lose everybody around her to,
So she's just
old
grasping
age.
on to straws.
and
of-
that's the first time she sees another mortal. Plus, she already thinks she's losing him, and now it's like in her face. You know, when you're separate from somebody, it's a little bit easier to accept
yeah.
that you're not going to be around him.
Yeah.
But if confronted, you might do things rashly.
It's just the jumping the bones after she says that.
Right?
How is that not like the largest red flag in the history of the world?
She has ignored all of them.
Yeah.
That's
He-
the problem. And it's hard for her to even, like, I think, understand that now until she fully sees it all laid out.
He goes from reaching to his dagger. No.
Yeah.
Is that right? Reaching for his dagger to try and end her life, to then her saying, oh, well, you can be my king, to then he wants to have sex with her immediately. Like, Henry.
He could already be
Henry.
hooking up with the girl at the healer center too. It's been a few days, and knowing Henry, he's probably already moved on.
He does move on, I thought, extremely quickly. But I mean, once we reread, maybe the timeline is a little bit more spread out. But
It's probably right after this that he's like, well, I'm never going to truly be with her.
Dia moves on fast too, but I mean, it's a mating bond, so there's excuses there.
Exactly.
Diem's been moving on. She didn't.
She's just in
ever-
denial.
She didn't ever want to be with Henry like she wants to be with Luther. Let's be
No,
honest.
I wish that they were the ones jumping bones, but instead we've got Henry making out all slimy and greasy from whatever he's doing as a mailman.
Can you imagine? He probably smells just like straight up envelope.
Oh, he
glue.
smells like Mortal City, I bet. And I imagine that's not a great scent. We never get a description of his scent. I'm just saying we get Luther's
just
teakwood, mahogany, fine things, and then
damp cedar.
yeah. And Henry, what's his smell?
Well, it'd be like kissing envelope glue. Just picture you licking your envelope
So
glue.
you think that he's working both at the post office and delivering the mail?
I can only one can only assume.
There's one guy doing it all.
It's also probably
That's
of-
how he's getting all his information to just relay back over to Vance.
It's probably of note that they probably use like wax to seal their letters.
Nope,
Here,
they
it's
only
not
use
envelope
traditional-
glue.
Traditional spit and glue.
Oh.
All right, that's all I have for that one.
Okay. Chapter 12. Well, that's embarrassing. Sorry you had to see that, Luther. Making a guard escort Henry out, Luther lectures her on her love life being a concern for the entire realm as well as his concern when she asks him to keep Aemon silent about Henry. Thinking he was going to mention their kiss, she is quick to remind him he kissed her, and maybe she didn't push away as quickly as she should have, but Luther's response has us all swooning. When I do kiss you, there will be no confusion. You will know that I have claimed you, and I won't have any desire to deny it.
Yo, stop kissing now.
Please.
Get that taste off of your mouth, that nasty
mailroom taste. Get that rich
Gross.
mahogany.
Eamon agreed to stay quiet only if Diem agrees to bring him as her escort and give him first dance and stay at his side throughout the entire evening. But she just accepted Henry's marriage proposal and asked him to come as her betrothed. Luther makes the guards move and pulls her into his chambers. Asking her to wait here, he disappears into what she now recognizes as his bedroom. He brings her a book filled with the names of the half-mortal children he's saved and those he's kept record of who he's failed. Explaining to Diem that the descended will never accept a mortal for king, not even as king consort, they will stop at nothing to prevent a mortal to take the throne. He shows her the list of names because he wants her to understand that he would lay his life down to even protect a mortal. Luther does not wish to see one more person in this realm buried because of their bloodline. He's also showing this because he would be better king. We're just pointing that out. As her friend and not her advisor, she asks him what she should do. Luther, barely able to say the words, tells Diem she needs to wait till she's gotten through the challenging and takes the full authority of the crown before they come up with a plan if Henry is who she loves and really wants. Luther will help her find a way. He begins to apologize that he was mistaken for the kiss and that it won't happen again when she finally realizes all along this was a secret her mother knew about him. He is only able to tell her that Arlie helped him get the children out, escorting them to his contacts in the realms where the half-mortal children are not so persecuted. Persecuted? Are not so persecuted. Maybe we should look that
To
up.
the full extent of the law.
Yeah. Diem, frustrated that Luther knows where she is but will refuse to give her the information from the promise he has made to Arlie, Diem decides to accept the bargain and take Eamon to the ball.
How did she not
Man.
just go to be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to retract my keen offer to Henry right now and give it to Luther when she finds out he's been saving all these children.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was like her one. Well, she doesn't know the truth about the trampling of the child yet. And it's just been brought up again.
Right.
But
would this not make you any person ever connect dots?
That it's not Luther?
That it's not Luther. Any person ever,
Yeah.
anyone,
any
Yeah.
person ever.
any IQ level would say that, hey, this guy literally risks his entire world for saving these children. Maybe he isn't the one that ran the little child over.
I wonder why the descended are so scared for a mortal to get the crown. Does it like immediately bring back the Everflame tree or something?
And that's going back to
that
she's
theory?
the gift, she's the key.
That could be it.
I mean,
It's
What
the
if-
potential.
what if the one with gray eyes was mortal and Lunos loved him?
Well, I was actually going to go back to say they're so scared of a mortal being in charge. That would go back to the only way the mortals are ever going to get freedom is if all the descended are dead. But you're right. Like, what if there is an actual reason?
What
What
if
if
the
That they're
mortals
keeping
have
them, basically.
Yeah.
And that's like her dad has the eyes and everything because he was mortal and then was given power to help liberate the mortals.
That's something. Or what if the mortals aren't actually, like, we're just labeling them mortals, but what if they have hidden power that because we destroyed their flame root tree,
It's just
or
diluted.
flame root tree, because we destroyed their Everflame tree, their powers have been hidden, and she's the one that's going to awaken that again. They're not so mortal anymore.
Interesting.
Shit.
I mean,
Tell us what you guys think. Is that anything that has crossed your minds?
yeah, tell us your theories. All I know is I wanted Diem to jump Luther's bones after this whole this whole part. I can't remember though. She doesn't see any of his like little shrine in this scene.
Yeah, she does.
She
Oh,
does.
this
She's-
is the
yeah.
okay.
I just didn't mention it because I ran out of time, but I feel like she notes because she makes a like funny comment like, "Oh, I didn't know you were so devout" or something like that.
And he's like, "Well, I have a reason to be devout," but he doesn't go into detail yet.
He doesn't know. Yeah, she
This
doesn't
is
know
not the
about
part
that.
where he says that he's been like given a vision from
no.
Mother Luminous.
I don't think so. He just says, "I have my reasons why."
Yeah, he doesn't go into it yet. Something about how she's saved him in the past is what
He's
she
a
says.
good man, Savannah. He's a good man.
I saw that.
good.
Did you finally see it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
He is. I mean, if I saw, as long as it wasn't creepy, a little shrine, I'd be like, that's so cute that you like, still follow your God so passionately. You like a man with purpose.
I mean, he's not shown anything that I don't like so far, really.
Really? There hasn't been a single red flag from this man.
Honestly, he's waving the green ones real hard.
I'm trying to find a red flag, and I might have my Luther goggles on, but I'm not seeing it. Like, he stabbed a guard for her when he didn't even know her. For some people, that would seem maybe aggressive, a little violent, but for me, green flag.
He's mine. It's fine.
Immediately.
We'll take him. All right.
I do like that they have a little plan for Henry. Like he's trying here. He said, "This is what you truly want. I will make this happen for you. But if you try to do it beforehand, you both will be dead."
And then he's going, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Bleh.
Yeah. Like,
I'll
help you.
I'll do it.
I'll help
I
you.
guess I'll do it.
Sorry, I smelled something bad. It must have been
Terrible.
the mailman that was just here.
Terrible, terrible choice. God, you're an idiot.
Okay. Fan theories?
I think we went over them, didn't we?
The only one we didn't is the first one.
Which I am excited that you put that.
Yes. Go ahead.
Do we think Diem or Luther are pawns from the old gods? What is at play here?
Yes.
I mean, if they're still around, I would only think so.
It feels a lot like Throne of Grass.
Throne of Grass.
That's a whole new series.
It's a mowing series.
You gotta get
That would
the
be
edge
such a
really
great
good.
lawn company, Throne of Grass.
It would be.
Every woman ever would hire them. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
don't listen to this episode. If you're listening right now, this is my idea.
Copyrighted.
Trademarked
It's
just
already
now.
done. Anyway, it feels very much like that. Like Elena, and then they were like specifically born to go complete this
Yeah.
task for the gods, since they can no longer
Going
do
back
it.
to how much does Arlie know? Is she the one that was told, was she given a vision and said, you need to go hook up with this man and then you're going to freak out a little bit, murder him, but it'll be fine.
Or maybe
little bit.
because she hooked up with the man, she was given visions.
Ooh.
Because
We wouldn't know though, because she tells us nothing.
She tells us absolutely nothing.
we are in the dark, but that would make a little bit of sense if she was given visions, and that's why she's like, you just got to trust me to DM all the time, because she's seen the future and she's doing what she can to prevent it.
The only thing I'll say to that is if that's true, then it does not make sense how she was okay with just dying and not telling DM anything.
Well,
She's so prepared
Because
to die
she
on that
knew she
island.
was leaving too. She had ample time to kind of like.
Maybe there was a diary in the house. We know it explodes from
No.
DM's power. Maybe there's a diary hidden somewhere where
No.
she left all her secrets.
No, she was so confident that she had DM taking the flame root powder. So there's nothing else she needs to do there, because she's pretty much brainwashed her since day one. Like,
Yeah.
she's totally doing obedient to Arlie. She may be a little rebellious as a kid, like doing some, like putting paint in the fountain or bubbles or whatever, that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, she's following what her mom says. She's a healer. She's taking her powder. She's not doing anything with the descended ever.
But what is
Now
her
she
ultimate hope for her daughter in the end? To just
That's what
completely
I
live
don't
her
get.
life like this for the rest of it? Or is she hoping that she can control when she awakens and
You're
knows
leading
what's going on
You're
here?
leading a group of people to a war and you want your child to be clueless. Like, your end goal is a war. And you're
Yeah.
literally just going to be like, maybe they can live in innocence their whole life. I don't get it. Like,
Listen,
she knows that's her goal.
I don't know, because Teller
Tells DM.
he does tell DM that he knows like all of the descended history.
my only thing
it's
is like,
very confusing.
It's not.
It doesn't add up.
No.
The threads aren't
Arlie is
connecting.
just very confusing to
The
me.
only thing that makes sense to me for why Arlie kept anything away from her is the fact that half mortals are killed.
Well, I mean, sure.
But
if
that's
you're
not
keeping,
enough.
if you're keeping the secret of the flame root already, why not? I don't know.
It doesn't add up.
Well, if you guys are listening and you have fan theories, let us know because we could talk about this for another hour of just endless things that we think are possible until we're proved wrong by the next
True.
chapter.
True.
Jenna, you had a spotlight last time. Do you want to talk about it this time?
Okay, for the spotlight today, we have the soundtrack that was created by bookish_songs on Instagram for Penn Cole's entire Kindred Curse saga.
That's really cool.
Is it for
Series.
the entire series? Or I think it might just be for Burn.
Well, shit.
Well, it just specifically says Burn on the post, but I could be wrong on
Nope,
that.
you're right. Songs for Burn of the Everflame.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people like to connect music to what they're reading. So if you are one of those people, definitely go check it out. If they have a YouTube, I'll put the link in the corner. If they don't, we'll put it in the notes of the episode.
You can also find it on Penn Cole's Instagram. She
Yes.
does her reaction to it. And actually, after reading this, it says author Penn Cole is reacting to hearing the official Kindred Curse saga soundtrack. So it
Ooh.
probably is for the whole thing.
Okay.
That's cool.
Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will continue our strip down of Glow with chapters 13 through 18. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast for a new episode of Book Thots.